Hey everyone, I'm Mike from theparkprodigy.com, and on today's video we're going to break down the pros and the cons of Universal's Portofino Bay Resort. So if you are in the process of planning that Universal trip and you're still unsure of where you would like to stay, just be sure to stick around until the end of this video as I'm going to break down all the pros at this and of course the cons at Portofino Bay. As always, I'm very excited, so let's go get started. Thank you all again so much for checking out this video. Like I said, we are about to break down the pros and the cons of Universal Orlando's Portofino Bay Resort. So if you are in the process of planning a trip and it does seem like you need more Universal videos like this, just be sure to hit that subscribe button as I have a lot more similar hotel videos coming out in the coming weeks. But let's jump right in, and I'm just going to preface by saying that as of the time of the recording of this video, Universal's Portofino Bay Resort is going through a major refurb, and that is being done really until the end of 2024, I believe the first week or two of 2025. But we're creating this video really looking towards the future and looking towards the fact that they will be, operating on a normal basis once you do plan and go and stay at the Universal Portofino Bay Resort. So jumping into the pros, and the biggest thing that I love about this hotel is going to be the rooms, but specifically the room sizes. They are by far some of the biggest hotel rooms that I have ever been in, and specifically even when you start to compare it to the other main two Universal Orlando resorts, which get all the love because of the free express passes, they do still have the biggest rooms. So we have the Garden View, which is the basic room at Universal's Portofino Bay Resort. It starts and it has a spacious 450 square feet to the room. And when you compare that to the standard 2-queen room at Royal Pacific is 335. You can see that's a huge bump. You're going from 335 to 450 square feet. Now, of course, that might not be important for every family, but let me just state, you do feel it immediately. When you walk into the room, you could just tell that they are larger rooms. But also you'll see from a room type standpoint, I just love it here. So starting with the basics, we do have the Garden View rooms, we have the Bay View rooms, again a spacious 450 square feet. Both the Garden View and the Bay View come in king bed varieties and also 2-queen bed varieties. Then you do have the deluxe rooms, which are even larger living spaces at 490 square feet, plus a stylish and roomy bathroom. And I'm going to take it one step further already. Another one of the pros of these hotel rooms is the spacious bathrooms. They are, again, by far some of the biggest bathrooms that I've ever seen at any hotel I have ever stayed at. And I know that that's something that's very important for a lot of families. Another pro at the Universal Portofino Bay Resort is going to be the kids suite. Here they are specifically Despicable Me kids suites, and I do think these are the most family-friendly rooms in all of Universal Orlando. So the Despicable Me Kids Suites offer 800 square feet, 1 kid bed, a separate room with 2 twin beds for the kids that replicates the excitement and playfulness of Gru's laboratory, including minion bedding and custom designed missile beds. And just to give families an idea of how much the suite cost, of course, so I went and I looked at pricing. So pricing for this suite was $1,126 compared to the regular room at $563 per night. So we also have a bunch of other suites that are available. So we do have the Portofino suites, we have the hospitality suites, the villa suites, we have the Governor Tour suites, and then the Presidente suites. I'm not going to get too much into the suites because I think the real value here, my favorite is going to be the basic rooms, and of course those Despicable Me rooms. The other cool thing that I do love about the Portofino Bay Resort is going to be the club level. So guests can upgrade to one of the club level rooms and enjoy access to Portofino's club level lounge, including complimentary continental breakfast, evening beer and wine, and additional privileges including complimentary admission to the fitness center and Mandara Spa. And again, the other cool thing is most of the club level rooms are going to be deluxe rooms, which are 490 square feet. So you kind of get to take advantage of both. Another huge pro here, of course, is going to be, and this is something so very dear to my heart coming from New York and being Italian, but it is the theming. So Loews Portofino Bay Resort is located right on the bay side of the Italian coast. So nestled along the water and with details like cobblestone streets and towering Italian cypress trees, just like the seaside town of Portofino in Italy, you'll swear you're actually in Europe, and I can attest to that. It really is. It's so immersive, and it does make you feel like you are not on a theme park vacation. Not only that, of course, you do get all the amazing benefits of staying in an official Universal Orlando resort, but it really does have all the charm of Italy with Florida sunshine and theme park fun. So the other really tying into this, the other pro is of course going to be the musical de notte, which is experience musical de notte, music of the night every evening at the hotel's Harbor Piazza. And again, I don't think this is something that you really find anywhere else from a theme park standpoint. You definitely don't find this over at Disney, so I just felt like it had to make the pros list. And also tying into this, and of course tying into something that I talk about constantly, which is going to be food. But I do really love the dining variety over at Portofino Bay Resort. So we're going to start with Sal's Market Deli, which is kind of the quick service spot where guests can pick up a basket and browse the aisles of Sal's Marketplace. So here you'll kind of get different Italian sandwiches, cheeses, antipasta, salads, freshly baked pizza, snacks, fresh fruit, anything that you could pretty much want to bring back to your room, they do have at Sal's Market. And me and my girlfriend just went here, and we were just here for lunch, and we stopped and we got 2 freshly made salads. The salads, don't get me wrong, I'm from New York, so I get very impatient. The salads did take a little bit to make, but it was well worth the wait. I would 100% eat here pretty much every day of my trip. They were really, really good. Another really great restaurant that I love is going to be Beachy Ristorante, which is one of the nicer sit-down restaurants here, and you definitely do need to make reservations. So it has 2 separate private dining areas, and it really is one of the more intimate restaurants on all of Universal Orlando property. Another great restaurant is Mama Della's Ristorante, so guests can dine in the casual comfort of a real Italian mama's kitchen and enjoy authentic old world favorites from Tuscany, Naples, and Piemonte. So it's just like coming home, but be sure to make a reservation here as well. Another great restaurant is going to be Trattoria del Porto, which features seaside Italian cuisine with a modern twist. Dine inside the main restaurant or outdoors overlooking the Harbor Piazza. And this is another great restaurant. One of the things that I actually did that I think is a really cool tip and trick is I walked in here and I was like, hey, I really don't feel like sitting down to eat. I just want to eat in my room. Can I order some breakfast to go? And they were very, very accommodating, and I was able to get some great scrambled eggs, potatoes, stuff like that to go. Another great one is going to be the Splendido Bar and Grill. So this is going to be the poolside bar, and they have everything from burgers and salads. We can't forget the Gelateria, which is the where they serve gelato, milkshakes, and smoothies. But the other cool thing is they're also open for breakfast, offering cereal, pastries, seasonal fruit, parfaits, breakfast sandwiches, and so much more. Another cool bar that they do have on property is going to be the Thirsty Fish, and I thought it was cool here. We went here on a Thursday, and we were able to watch some of the football game, and just grab a cocktail, those sort of vibes. And then, of course, last but not least, I talk about this in all of the Universal or most of the Universal Hotel videos, but you can't forget about the room service. Another cool thing that I thought about the room service is if you're visiting during Halloween Horror Nights, they actually had a special menu specifically themed for Halloween Horror Nights again, which I thought was very, very cool. Over to some of the amenities now that we love. And one of the pros here is they do have 3 pools. So they have 3 pools of all different vibes and sizes, right? The main pool where it gets most of the love, especially for the kids, is going to be the beach pool, which is the ideal place for your family to spend the day, where you get to enjoy a Roman aqueduct themed water slide, a sandy beach, an adjacent children's pool, 2 hot tubs, and 3 colorful beach cabanas. This is kind of like, it's like a beach entry type of pool. 2 of the other pools are going to be the Villa Pool, which offers additional amenities including private cabana rentals and upgraded lounge chairs, and the Hillside Pool on the hotel's east side, which is a retreat that offers a bit more privacy and quiet place for relaxing by the water. The last 2 pools are really going to be for my adults visiting Universal, where it's a little bit quieter. The beach pool is going to be the fun vibes. They have a really, really cool water slide as well that the kids will love. And I think with some of the other stuff, again, some of the pros on the amenities side is going to be those poolside cabanas, the poolside activities, and they also have bocce ball for any of my old school Italians. I love to play bocce. You could enjoy that here. Again, the Mandara Spa is another huge pro, especially for my adults visiting who want to just take that relaxing, afternoon. And then some of the pros that I would say guests might not think about are going to be, we love that it's part of the Loews Loves Pets collection. So if you want to take your dog or your cat on your vacation with you, it is an additional cost. It's right around $100 per night. But you can do that at the Portofino Bay Resort. I also love the fact that they do have the water taxis to take you over to City Walk to the main 2 hotels at this point in time. And you do have, of course, the shuttle bus to take you over to Volcano Bay. But one of the things that guests might not think about is that covered parking. Most of the Universal Orlando resorts have covered parking. And why I think that's important, especially in Florida, is if you're showing up to your hotel and trying to get all the bags out, yes, of course you could go to valet, but I'm the type of person, I don't like to go to valet. I don't like, when I'm ready to leave in the morning, I just want to hop in my car and leave. I don't want to have to wait for valet to get my car. But why covered parking is important is you can go and you don't have to worry about it. If it's raining, if it's not raining, you can just go and have your car covered, in the garage and not have to worry about any of that stuff, which again, most people probably don't think about. But being in the theme parks as much as I am, these are some of the little things that I start to pick up on that are very helpful that again you might not realize. Another great thing, and tying into all of this, right, from a pro standpoint, is in my opinion this is probably the best hotel on property for adults visiting Universal Orlando who want that theme park fun of going on the Velocicoaster and Hagrid's during the day, but they do want those romantic vibes at night. I don't think you could beat the Portofino Bay from that standpoint. And of course, last but not least, you do have to remember that Loews Portofino Bay Resort does come with the free Universal Express passes, and that does include check-in and check out. You would have the express pass for each day you are at this hotel. So now jumping into the cons, right? As you can see, there's so many cool things going on at this hotel. What are some of the cons? Well, it typically is going to be the most expensive of the Signature Collection hotels, which are, the top tier hotels at Universal Orlando. So I went and I did a comparison. And so to give you an idea of where pricing stands, Loews Portofino Bay Resort for a one-night stay was $563 per night. Going down to the Hard Rock was $538 per night. And then going down to Royal Pacific, the Royal Pacific Resort was $477 per night. So you could see almost $100 more. However, I would say you do get a substantially larger room and bathroom, but for some families that might not be the most important thing, especially if you're just trying to get the biggest bang for your buck with the free express passes. Over to number 2 on the cons list, I honestly wish that Universal would add more Minion theming to the resort. I wish that we had more standard rooms with the Minion feel, just to give families more of an opportunity to get that family-friendly fun at a more affordable price, right? And then also the club level here is going to be more expensive than the club level, let's say, elsewhere. So I did a comparison, and the club level here was $179 more per night, right, when doing just the apples to apples comparison. But over at the Hard Rock, it was $100 per night. So again, you get a little bit bigger bang for your buck elsewhere. I will say though, the concierge, the concierge suite at the Portofino Bay is beautiful. It is my favorite. But is it $80 more per night my favorite? I don't think so. Just because I feel like just me, if I'm, I obviously am looking at these numbers constantly. I'm trying to get the best deal possible for myself. But just keep that in mind. It is just, it's a little bit more. And the other important thing to keep in mind is this hotel is a little bit larger than some of the other Universal Orlando hotels. But what I also thought was weird is that there's a lot more levels and staircases to the hotel. So even from getting just from one side of the hotel to the other to get over to one of the other pools, it had a weird layout. I guess that's the best way to put it. And then some of the little nicks and crannies that I saw were part of the main pool area. The beach club did need a refurbishment, but it makes sense because the hotel is going through a refurb. But those are some of the cons that I picked up on my most recent stay. But that is really it, everyone. That's pretty much the basics of the pros and the cons at Universal's Portofino Bay Resort. I really, really hope that you found this video helpful. And like I said, if you are in the process of planning a Universal Orlando trip and it does seem like you need a little additional help, just be sure to go check out our website, theparkprodigy.com. And as a thank you for sticking around all the way till the end of this video, I do have a special promo code you can go use on our website, The Park Prodigy, and that promo code is going to be YouTube25 to grab an extra $25 off some discounted theme park tickets or a full Universal Orlando vacation package. But I think that's all the time we have for today. Thank you guys again so much for checking out this video, and until next time, I will talk to you soon.